Well, the Crystal Springs Trail is quite a bit different than I expected. I thought it would be right alongside the reservoir, but I drove by the reservoir and I think I'm beyond the end of the reservoir now, and this is the beginning of the trail. And where I thought it was, there's no trail at all. But I have heard that north of here, this is facing south, but north of here there's another trail that meets up with the one that I was on Friday, the San Andreas Trail. Well, I've seen only one pedestrian and now one equestrian on this trail. Surprised to see horses because dogs are not allowed on the trail. Certainly hasn't been very scenic so far, but I've only gone 5 minutes or so. Now the trail is right along Freeway 280 or Interstate 280. Over there in the sunshine is a house high on a hill, maybe in the city of San Mateo. I'm not sure what that address would be. It's a little after 4 o'clock and nightfall is getting pretty close, so I'm not going to get a very far hike on this trail, I'm afraid. I surely did not think I was this close to Woodside. I've only walked maybe at the most a mile. Population of 5,417, very small for California, but it's a very rural, even in the woods town for the most part, up in that direction. My equestrian is passing in the other direction now. It's actually a woman, which I didn't notice when she passed me going the other direction. But she asked permission to pass because I guess she thought I wanted to get a picture of that little ranch there. So I haven't walked quite a half hour yet, but considering how cold and close to dark it is now, I'm going to turn around right here where the trail goes into this street or road, whatever it is. Well, looking the other direction now, that's the back of the Woodside sign. So that was a short trail. No indication how long it is, but as I said, it might be a mile from where I parked. It probably goes on that way too, but I'm not sure. This might be a street or a road, but those posts in the middle of it there kind of indicate it's probably not a used road. Well, there's more light going north. But it certainly hasn't been a very scenic route or hike. Pretty disappointing on that score, but an experience. There's a jogger coming towards me. Only the second pedestrian I've seen on this hike. If I hold the camera low, it gets a much better picture. And when I put it high, Well, didn't work when I went high. It started out being pretty dark and lightened up as I went lower, but for some reason it's come back now when I raise it too. I've driven past here scores of times in the nearly 40 years that I've lived in the general area that I've been living. Never saw hikers alongside the freeway here, or bikers or equestrians. I guess the traffic goes so fast here that it doesn't notice anything on the side. Well, I'm using the secondary camera now to get my own ugly mug in the picture, and there's a lot more light in the picture than there was in the higher resolution camera. I don't know why, but I guess maybe it tries harder to make the best of what it has to work with. Very interesting. Well, I'm coming to the end of the trail, and now there's at least a little bit of scenery there as the Santa Cruz Mountains loom ahead. They just look like a strip of purple in the picture, of course, but pretty nice to see firsthand. A little more of the same with a little bit of pink sunset in the distance. A few yards behind my car, where it was parked at the trail, was this historical marker for the town of West Union, which stood here along the trail from 1853 to 1910. And the marker says that there were 2 sawmills at the town, and that was the reason they existed. So in a sense, West Union could be thought of as the Vintondale and the Wirram of California, because Vintondale was a lumber mill town in the late 1800s, and Wirram was already a ghost town like West Union by 1910.